Alrighty, welcome back to another video. So, Tavern of Legends has reopened for people to start pulling past Hero of the Months all the way back from 2017. And as you can see from there, we have a new hero as well. So let's go and have a look. Satori. So, before that, I think I just want to highlight what's going on with the Tavern of Legends with the new rework. So what has happened is that they will start featuring this champions family, which is basically a couple of new heroes based on, I don't know why there's a new champions family here, but also another thing that I think needs to be highlighted is now you can choose your featured heroes. You can choose up to 2, where you can actually change them depending on what hero you would want. Now I know some people would definitely want Mickey. I think Mickey has always been a key hero component for Titans, and I mean, apart from him being featured always during 1 or 2 particular rotations in Atlantis, as well as being in the Tavern Legends portal, I don't think Mickey has been featured anywhere else. I mean, sure, Black Friday summons and the Solstice summons as well, you can get Mickey, but those again the same as Tavern Legends. There's just a wide pool of heroes for you to pull from, and it was not something that you can pull without making too many pulls. So it's pretty good that they have this featured here. Obviously now there's a lot of other heroes that do the same as Mickey in terms of what she can provide or he can provide for Titans. Heroes like Okeanos, Sharkai, Costume Wilbur. These are alternatives, but especially when you're going against Red Titans, I think Mickey has always been the number 1. So you can also pick certain heroes that you want them to be featured, like you can choose from Costume Hell, Costume Musashi, Costume Athena, even Costume Natalia. Maybe I'll go through some of them, I'm not sure. Let's see how long this video will be. So in this case, I don't have Costume Hell, so I might as well just pick. And you can also change this as well between whatever you want. So you can pick something like Mickey here, and you can see it is featured now. Now featured, obviously, there's a 1% chance for you to draw, as opposed to 0.9%, which is essentially just 0.9% divided by the number of legendary heroes you can get in this portal, as well as season 1 heroes as well. Legendary featured heroes 1% chance divided by 3, so it's 0.3% chance now for you to get a Mickey if you have selected Mickey. In this case, I already have a Mickey, so I'll probably just stick with Hell and Zelene. But let's look at Satori here. So Satori is a 5-star blue paladin of the Champions family. Heroes become stronger when teamed with other unique heroes of the same family. Bonus for 1, 2 or 3 heroes, 30, 50 or 70% additional special skill damage. Now I've noticed they've been very particular in increasing the special skill damage for heroes, so I guess this is part of it. He has now 3 passives as you look here: Mana Generation, Ailment Protection. All status ailments and negative stacks that affect mana generation will be replaced by plus 30% mana generation status effect for 3 turns. Doesn't apply to status ailments that stop mana generation or steal mana. So it doesn't work on Gilak, it doesn't work on Atlantia, it doesn't work with Costume Hell, Zenda, the regular Hell, Proteus. It doesn't work. However, if you're going against Fist Coil, you're going against the Magic Tower heroes, Satori is a really good option to go against those kind of heroes. They also have mana generation, ailment. They also have health boost on buff dispel. This character receives 200 boosted health each time a buff is dispelled from this character. This effect can activate only once per turn. Interesting that they put that effect can only trigger once per turn. Mana on buff dispel. This character receives 10% mana each time a buff is dispelled from them. This effect can activate only once per turn, so you get 10% mana, which is pretty decent. Damage reduction as a alpha power. 1000 palm strikes. Average speed. Deals 275% damage to all enemies. Deals 550% damage against characters that cleanse or dispel using special skills. Only direct dispel and cleanse effects from special skills are considered. This excludes remove effects, passive minions, family effects, talents, and status effects. So that means if you have a hero like Kai, for example, where the fiends remove dispel buffs, it's not going to affect him. He does not get 550% damage. Heroes like El Nadaha, which prevents ailments but does have that family bonus where you can dispel the latest dispellable buff, does not include in this 550% damage. So you're looking at heroes like, for example, Vaishali, which is a perfect example of it. Melena as well. So targeting, those kind of heroes. Ray, I'm noticing it's all magic tower heroes that are relevant here. So yeah, he's definitely painful. The caster and nearby allies have a 50% chance to drop any received damage to 1 for 4 turns. If this effect is dispelled, it dispels buffs from all enemies. Wow. So typically we've only seen this effect on Black Knight, and it was always on only Black Knight, and now, wow. As a sumo, I guess you could defend your fellow allies as well. 3 of them have a 50% chance to drop any received damage to 1 for 4 turns, which is even better than Black Knight, the regular Black Knight, because that was only 3 turns. This one is crazy. Like, imagine if this was like, for example, on flank, defense on flank, and you decide, hey, let's fire into Satori, for example, and holy shit, he defends your tank so well, he defends your wing as well, to give them time for them to fire their special skill. So I think Satori is really busted. They did reduce his damage output a little bit, which I don't think it's too concerning. Really, really strong hero, and definitely something that people would want to pull. Now, as always, there's always this other featured costumes that are available in the new Tavern of Legends. Several Hero of the Months have gotten their fix in terms of costumes, in the hopes of being better. I don't see that many of them being, essentially very good in the sense that they will break metas. The only one I think that will be really good, Costume Perseus. It's now the hardest hitting elemental defense down against ice. Costume Zimkita is really good. Now, as part of the balance update, they did release some of the new, I think 2017, 18, and 19 heroes do have an additional Dispel on special skill and Cleanse on special skill. I don't actually have any one of them really leveled apart from Costume Athena, but I don't know if I can show this in a video or something. But for example, Costume Zimkita, now with her ability, she can dispel buffs, and at the same time her passive. And remember, this is not a chance to dispel. The passive here, dispel on special skill, happens all the time. So that makes Costume Zimkita what we call a double dispeller, and as well as being one of the most, I would say, effective way to deal with Ludwig in Rush Wars, because you can use her first ability, her special skill, to dispel her Ludwig's taunt, and then her passive will trigger, and she will then dispel the mana generation buffs on the nearby allies of Ludwig. So really, really strong, and I think this would make her a bit more relevant, if not already relevant. You see a lot of top players use Costume Zimkita as one of the primary dispels in certain war teams, not essentially on defense. Most of these heroes, you would typically use them on offense instead. Obviously, Costume Athena is pretty good on Titans. You have Drake Fong with Dispel, that will be interesting. Aaron has Cleanse, but I won't suggest anybody leveling him. Ares is interesting, so now he takes on a Cleanse as well as being sort of like an alternative red tank if you don't have one. Then you have Evelyn with a Cleanse, so now she dispels. enemies, and then you also cleanse yourself as well. Pretty good, pretty decent. Oh, they did change Ruben as well to have a bit more damage, and it's still completely useless. So yeah, that's it. So I'm actually not intending to pull much from this portal. I've always had bad luck when it comes to this portal, apart from that one time where I got Mickey out of a random pull. But other than that, nothing really much from this. So I'm just going to do my 2 pulls and call it a day, not really spending anything for the time being. So let's see what the 2 tokens can give us. A Bane, and the final one, a Bolt Tusk. Alright, fighter emblems, not the emblems I need. I actually need more wizard and sorcerer emblems. I think I already have 3000 fighter emblems. So that is good luck if you're trying to pull for Satori. I would think Satori is really strong both on defense and offense. On offense, you won't really see much in terms of having him deal that 550% damage, but having this ability where you have an offensive output as well as a defensive output, that makes Satori pretty synergistic together with like someone like Krampus, for example, where you can have your taunt flanking Satori on offense, and Krampus is going to taunt and Satori is pretty much going to say like, oh well, 50% of the time you're not taking any damage. So really strong. Good luck if you're pulling him, and congrats if you have already gotten him, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. GG.